Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dopefish Productions Review, where we review anything that catches our fancy or interest. Today's review is A Dawn Break Over Westeros by March 9330. March 9330. Here's the summary. I don't know how many times I have saved the world. 9, 12. I've lost count. Being child of prophecy is such a burden. When Jon Snow was murdered by his fellow knights in the Night Watch, brethren, I decided it was time to come back once again and finish the job I started 8,000 years ago. I am Azor Ahai, but you can call me Naruto. Now, this is one of those typical Naruto time fix fanfics. Put them into the Game of Thrones or I forgot the other name of the content. But overall, I'm very much not a fan of the Game of Thrones. It was a very good series starting off, but as it went on, it went downhill fast, very fast. Just because it just went to poor writing in my mind. The premise of the Game of Thrones and all the characters they introduce are amazing, but overall it just turns into a very bad series after a while, just because of bad forethought and bad, I will say, lazy writing. But that's just my personal opinion, and this is alright. A little bit too much OP-ness, if you can understand that. They made Naruto a little too OP and made the battles far too quick and ending far too quickly to make this a long running series. I estimate this probably will only be at maximum maybe a 30 chapter story at maximum before it ends at the pace he's going in the story. Um, and he's probably gonna be the King of Thrones by probably 18, chapter 18 or 20. But this series will only be getting a 7 out of 10. There's several things that I personally think are wrong with the series. One, everything's too fast paced. Relationships are too fast paced. The army building is a little too fast paced. The gaining people on the side is a little bit too fast paced. That's the thing with even the original story Game of Thrones. It's not realistic. It's not. It's very unrealistic in events. People will not act certain ways they do in that show, unless they're mentally not right in the head, which a lot of those people are. But this story has a more realistic take on the decisions people would take, but it also suffers the same thing Games of Thrones takes. Everything is always fast paced. Everything's running, 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 action, action, action. It's not enough filler or not enough background stuff showing things moving together and fitting into place to make things happen. Though this guy actually shows it better than the Games of Thrones does. Um, by actually mentioning it's been like 3 or 4 months, or it's been like a year or so, but he still needs chapters to show his army building up and making it stronger in more details. That's the only thing really wrong with this series. That and he needs to cool down on the lemonade a little bit and focus more on the story. But you can't really help with that. That is one of the major pulls for certain fanfics. But this is a interesting story, and I would recommend to read. It's a good story if you can get over the other things that drive people off. But it's a good story, and hope you give him some more views and junk so you actually continue at a little bit faster rate, maybe. That is all. Thank you for coming to Fish Productions Review.